My name is Amy, and I love hunting for treasure and all things ancient. And I've discovered a very ancient flower. So I've got a flower pot, some dirt, and some seeds, and let's get digging. These seeds are for a flower called the King Solomon seal. So they should help remind us to have wisdom. And wisdom is finding out what you should do and then doing it. King Solomon is thought to be one of the wisest people that ever lived. Some say that this very plant right here that we're gonna plant was growing in King Solomon's royal palace. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Well, while Solomon was king, he built a palace and a temple for God, and he ruled wisely for 40 years. Next, we're just gonna smooth it over. There you go, little guys. Have a nice little happy home in there. All right, and there. And now, we wait for it to grow. Why is it not growing? Did I miss something? Oh, I forgot the most important part. Water. King Solomon would have remembered that. You know, sometimes I wish I could be wise like King Solomon. Do you ever wonder how Solomon got to be so wise? Well, we will find out in today's story. But before we get to that part, it's time for worship. So stand up, shake out those wiggles, and get ready for this. Oh, I think I saw something. Just kidding.
I was lost and could not see. I was searching, you found me. Your love opened my eyes. My heart forever changed. No more standing still, no more in my heart, to tell the world just who you are, in everything I do, in everything I say. I will never be ashamed, 'cause I just wanna let you know, Jesus, you have saved me so, I will never be the same. I will sing from the rooftops, with all that I have, I'm gonna lift up. Both of my hands, I'm gonna make it loud, gonna sing and shout from the rooftops. Oh, you are my God. Oh, you are my God. Oh.
So with this fire in my heart, I'll tell the world just who you are, in everything I do, in everything I say. I will never be afraid,
From the rooftops, with all that I have, I'm gonna lift up. Both of my hands, I'm gonna make it loud, gonna sing and shout from the rooftops. Oh, you are my God. Oh, you are my God. Oh, you never stop loving us, you never stop, no. We'll never stop loving you, we'll never stop, no. Yeah, yeah, you'll never stop loving us, you'll never stop, oh. So we'll never stop loving you, we'll never stop, no, no. Yeah, on the rooftops, with all that I have, I'm gonna lift up. Both of my hands, I'm gonna make it loud, gonna sing and shout from the rooftops. Oh, you are my God. Yeah, you are my God. You are mine. You are mine. You are mine. You are mine. You are my God. You are mine.
You know, plants don't only need water to grow, they also need time, it says. So it turns out that the seeds in this little packet can take up to 6 months to sprout. That is a lot of waiting. But it's kind of what wisdom can feel like. In today's story, we learned how King Solomon asked for wisdom, and even though the answers don't always come quick, Solomon knew that he could trust God to give him the wisdom he needed. Let's see what happened.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3, verses 4 through 28.
Imagine this. You're in a deep sleep, dreaming, when all of a sudden, the creator of the universe shows up and says,
Ask me for anything.
anything. You could ask for anything in the world and have it. What would you say? Perhaps you'd request an unlimited Amazon account where you could get whatever you want for free. Or perhaps you'd request a flying race car that could be dropped off at the moon or on the beach. Or you could ask to be the most popular kid in school forever. This might sound like a fairy tale, but it's true. It actually happened to a young man named Solomon. When King David died, his son Solomon became king.
What are your royal orders, Most Royal Highness?
I'm not sure. I've never been king before.
Though Solomon was young and inexperienced, his father, King David, taught him to listen to God's words. So, Solomon showed his love for God by obeying his laws.
I want to thank the Lord for everything He has done for my family.
Solomon traveled to the city of Gibeon, where he offered 1,000 burnt sacrifices to honor God.
There is no one like you, God.
That night, Solomon sank into a deep sleep, and the Lord appeared before him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
1,000 ideas must have exploded into Solomon's head. Gold, power, life forever. But instead, he said,
Lord, you have made me a great king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties. I'm here among the people that you have chosen. They are a great nation, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
it was a simple request, but one that would change Solomon's life forever.
You have not asked to live for a long time. You have not asked to be wealthy. You have not even asked to have your enemies killed. Instead, you have asked for wisdom. I will give you a wise and understanding heart. As long as you live, no other king will be as great as you are.
As the dream faded, Solomon woke with a start.
Was that real? That was real!
Amazed, Solomon returned to Jerusalem, where he once more gave sacrifices to honor God and held a great feast for all his officials.
What are we celebrating, Your Most Royal Highness?
God has promised to give me wisdom to lead the kingdom.
How is that working out for you?
Well, it was in a dream.
Ah, I see.
Perhaps Solomon wondered at first whether he really had received wisdom from God, but this was soon put to the test.
Your Most Royal Highness, you must help the people solve their problems.
I'll do my best, with God's help.
First order of business, we have these two ladies here. State your business, please.
My friend and I... Okay, so she's not my friend anymore.
Speak for yourself.
I'm trying to. We live in the same home, and we both had baby boys. But her baby died, and so she took my boy in the night, and now she says my baby is hers. See? That's not her baby.
No way. This baby is my son.
Is not.
Is too.
Ladies!
Solomon turned to the first woman.
You say my son is the living baby, but your friend says the baby is her son.
That's a lie.
Is not.
Is too.
God gave Solomon a wise idea.
Bring me a sword.
An official quickly brought the king's shining sword.
Your royal sword, Your Royal Highness.
Solomon studied the two women carefully.
Excellent. Now, cut the baby in two parts. Give one half to the first woman and one half to the second.
Solomon had no intention of harming the baby, but he knew this was the way to find the truth.
No! No! Give her the baby. Don't kill him.
Oh, whatever. Neither of us will get the baby.
Solomon could instantly see which woman truly cared about the baby.
Give the boy to the first woman here. She is his mother.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
No fair. That was totally a trick.
The baby was given to his true mother. All the Israelites heard about Solomon's decision and trusted that he would judge them fairly too. God made Solomon so wise that his understanding couldn't even be measured, like the sands on the seashore.
Wow, Solomon asked God for the wisdom he needed to be king, and it wasn't long until he had a chance to put that wisdom into action with a very wise ruling about the mom and her baby. It's clear that Solomon didn't think he could just figure things out by himself. He knew that he needed God's help. He needed to trust God to give him wisdom. That way, he could know what was right and fair in any situation. You know, we can talk to God just like Solomon did. We can ask God for wisdom. We can put our trust in God because he's always there to help us. Remember, trust God to give you wisdom. It's cool to think that Solomon asked God for wisdom at a really young age. Wisdom is something we need at any age, kid or adult or anything, and we can grow in wisdom as we get older. So don't forget to ask God for the wisdom that you need, because all wisdom comes from him. And we know that he'll give it to us. That's what James, Jesus' brother, wrote about in our memory verse, James 1:5. Say it with me. If any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. He will give it to you. God gives freely to everyone and doesn't find fault. James 1:5. So let's talk to God and ask him to help us find his wisdom. God, thank you so much for the story about Solomon today and for teaching us about wisdom. Help us to remember that wisdom is figuring out what to do and then doing it. Please help us to have the courage, once we know what to do with wisdom, to really follow it through. Help us to honor you and to love others as best as we can. Amen. God has also given us other people who can help us make the wise choice. We don't have to do it alone. We have parents or grandparents, or maybe some of you have older brothers and sisters, and we all have small group leaders. This week, find someone close to you and talk about how you can trust God to give you wisdom. See you later.
Rising up to